Tonight, Brandon Lewis concludes his series on the opioid epidemic with a look at grandparents raising their grandchildren during this drug crisis. He joins us in the studio with part 3.
Earlier this year, President Trump signed into law legislation that aims to help grandparents raise their grandchildren. And with the opioid epidemic devastating communities across the United States, these grandparents need all of the help they can get. Here is the conclusion of Addiction's Children, a generation in jeopardy.
Starlene Smith wants to be there for her daughter, like her grandparents were for her.
I didn't really realize what was actually going on until I got older.
Her grandparents stepped in to raise her after her parents struggled with drug addiction.
It was a rough 18 years. There were a lot of things that I didn't have, but a lot of things that I did have, and I'm just grateful for everything I have now.
Last year, approximately 23,000 children under the age of 18 lived in households in West Virginia where a grandparent provided the child's primary care. That translates to 6% of children in the state, one of the highest percentages in the country. These stats could increase as the state battles this drug crisis.
As a grandmother, it breaks your heart when you're putting your granddaughter to bed and she says, "When will Daddy be alive again?"
Dina Jackson's life changed in an instant back in 2016. Her son's battle with drug addiction ended tragically when he fatally overdosed.
Micaiah was everybody's sunshine. He was always happy. So full of life, and he loved his children.
Children she loved so much, she took them in. While recovering from a heart attack she had in the aftermath of her son's death, she stepped up.
Not only did you lose someone you loved, but now you've taken on this huge responsibility.
A responsibility that she didn't think twice about, but says can sometimes be challenging, and wants to find more resources for grandparents in her situation.
I'd like to see a place here where we could come together and, just if we just come together and talk about situations that we're having or, something that we need help with.
John House is trying to be that resource. He created this Facebook page for grandparents raising their grandkids in the Mid-Ohio Valley, an outlet to connect them with the support and help they need.
They are true heroes. They're the ones that everybody should be supporting around. If the grandparents could be supported, the kids will be supported, because these grandparents are giving up their lives to take care of these grandkids.
And for Dina, giving up her life, she says, is worth it.
Because I love them so much. They are my heart and soul, and they're the only way I made it through this. After I had my heart attack and then I saw them, they're the only way that I made it through this. It's without them, I don't think I would have. They give me purpose.
West Virginia State University has a free initiative called Healthy Grandfamilies. The program combines a series of innovative discussion sessions on relevant topics for grandparents with follow-up services with a licensed social worker. The goal is to help ease the transition for these grandparents willing to take on their grandkids. The program's information will be posted to WTAP.com as well as each part of this series.